into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
The Matrix is 26 years old, and yet, somehow, year after year, it feels more relevant than ever. The film is full of deeper meanings, philosophy, symbolism, religious allegory, existential dread, and an almost prophetic understanding of our modern world. There's one scene in this movie, however, that stands out most to audiences, one that lingers and stays with us. The scene where Neo meets Morpheus for the first time.
At last.
This scene isn't just an exposition dump. It isn't just the moment where our protagonist receives his call to adventure. It's the film in microcosm. A single conversation that encapsulates everything The Matrix is about: truth, choice, power, and control. And while the entire movie has had a lasting impact on popular culture, this scene in particular has seeped into the real world. Terms like red-pilled have become part of our modern lexicon, often twisted and reshaped to fit agendas far removed from the Wachowskis' vision. But before the phrase became a symbol, before it was co-opted, redefined, and twisted into the meaning of today, it was this scene where it was born. A moment framed with precision, performed with weight, and written with just enough ambiguity to make us feel like Morpheus isn't just speaking to Neo, he's speaking to us. Now, if you haven't seen The Matrix, I'm not even going to provide context to the lead up to this scene. It's been 26 years. At this point, watching this film isn't just a recommendation, it's a cultural obligation. Today, we're diving straight into this scene breakdown. The scene opens with a striking low-angle shot of a towering building, its sheer height exaggerated to almost impossible proportions. This perspective doesn't just establish scale, it distorts it, making the structure feel imposing, almost otherworldly. It's a visual cue that Neo isn't just stepping into any old building, he's standing at the threshold of something monumental, something far greater than himself. This is quickly and brilliantly, I might add, contrasted by the very next shot. An overhead perspective almost as if the building itself is looking down on Neo. The shift is immediate and striking. Where the previous shot made the building feel towering and godlike, this one shrinks Neo, emphasizing his smallness as he steps into something far bigger than himself. In just 2 shots, the Wachowskis visually establish the power dynamics for Neo. All of this before we even see Morpheus. Before a single word is spoken, the Wachowskis have already shown us everything we need to know. The weight of this meeting isn't just implied, it's felt. We cut to my personal favourite shot of the scene, an overhead shot as the camera spirals upwards, tracking Neo and Trinity as they ascend the stairs. It only lasts 8 seconds, but it is loaded with meaning. The first thing that stands out is the black and white checkerboard flooring. It's an unmistakable visual cue, resembling a chessboard, subtly hinting that Neo is just a piece in a much larger game. But beyond that, it reinforces one of the film's most important themes: duality. The entire movie and this very scene is about 2 opposing forces: control versus freedom, illusion versus reality, the Matrix versus the real world. And here, Neo literally walks across a representation of choice, foreshadowing the decision he's about to make. But the brilliance doesn't stop there. The spiraling camera movement isn't just a stylistic flex. It visually mimics Neo's awakening, symbolizing his ascent towards knowledge. It mirrors the rabbit hole motive, reinforcing that he's not just climbing the stairs, he's spiraling deeper into the unknown. In just 8 seconds, the Wachowskis give us a visual metaphor for the scene itself, a moment of choice, a journey toward truth, and a reminder that Neo's fate has already begun to unfold. Trinity leads Neo to the door of the room in which Morpheus is waiting, the camera creeping behind Neo. She lets him in. We cut to a wide shot of Morpheus, his back to the audience, standing in front of a window. Beyond simply establishing the space where this pivotal conversation will take place, this blocking tells us everything about him before he even speaks. Morpheus stands with his hands behind his back, gazing out the window as if contemplating existence itself. It's a pose of authority, of deep thought, the stance of a man who already knows the truth. In dramatic fashion, lightning flashes outside just as Morpheus turns around, and we cut to a close-up on him with the camera gently dollying forward, pulling us into the moment. This push-in isn't just for effect. As important as this meeting is for Neo, it subtly emphasizes the importance of this meeting for Morpheus too. He has spent years searching for the one, placing his faith in prophecy, waiting for this exact moment. And just as the camera push-in ends, he speaks.
At last.
It's completely over the top for a character introduction, but that's exactly why it works. Both Neo and the audience have been anticipating Morpheus' reveal until this point. When we finally meet him, the Wachowskis double down on this build-up. It cements Morpheus as the mentor character type like no other. The first thing that stands out about Morpheus when we finally meet him is the sunglasses. He's inside and it's nighttime. Coupled with his long black leather coat, it amplifies his mystique, making him feel even more enigmatic. His sunglasses serve a crucial purpose though. They deny us and Neo access to his eyes, and in cinema, the eyes are everything. They reveal truth, vulnerability, intention, but here, Morpheus blocks that connection. We can't quite read him, and that makes his presence all the more commanding yet unknowable. And we have to remember, if we are watching The Matrix for the first time, we've been given two conflicting versions of this man. To the authorities, he's a terrorist, a threat to society. But to Trinity, he's something else entirely. A liberator, a guide, maybe even a savior. Just as Neo must decide whether to trust him, so too must the audience. The Wachowskis have placed us in Neo's shoes. We are questioning Morpheus just as much as he is, building on the idea that this moment is as much for Neo as it is the viewer. One thing worth mentioning, a small detail that might not be immediately obvious, but greatly enhances the scene's impact, is the abandoned and decaying building. This meeting doesn't take place in a sleek, futuristic hideout. It's set in a space that's falling apart, crumbling under the weight of time. And that visual choice matters. It symbolizes where truth actually exists, not in the clean, manufactured perfection of the Matrix, but on the fringes of society. This meeting isn't meant to feel clean, safe, or comfortable. It's unsettling, raw, and prophetic, just like the truth Morpheus is about to reveal. From here, the coverage is fairly standard. Wide shots, mid shots, and close-ups. The Wachowskis don't need to dazzle us with elaborate camera movements, because they don't have to. The power of this moment isn't in how it's filmed, it's in what's being spoken. We're meant to sit and listen, just as Neo is. Morpheus speaks with slow, deliberate pacing.
But you feel it. You felt it your entire life.
Every sentence lands.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
Every phrase lingers.
Do you want to know what it is?
It's as if he's speaking not just to Neo, but to us.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
The ambiguity, the mystery, the weight of his words, it holds us, grips us, and demands our attention.
But you feel it. You felt it your entire life.
The red leather armchairs play a role here too. They aren't just set decoration. They invoke an image of deep intellectual discourse. Chairs you'd expect to find in an old study, a grand library, places where knowledge is exchanged among the enlightened. But here, these same chairs exist in a room that's decayed, abandoned, falling apart. A subtle but profound visual contradiction. It's as if we're already seeing through the illusion, witnessing the artificiality of this supposedly real world. There's a back and forth between the two, and on paper this could have easily become a static, lifeless exchange, just two people sitting in chairs talking. But the Wachowskis spice it up with a simple yet powerful directorial choice. Morpheus leans forward, bringing himself from a medium close-up to a close-up, and in doing so, he physically pulls us closer to him. This isn't just body language, it's a deliberate escalation, a way of visually signaling that what he's saying is of the most importance.
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
The way the Wachowskis stage it makes us feel like he isn't just telling Neo what the truth is, he's telling us. After this, we enter what is arguably one of the most famous moments in cinema, the choice between the red pill and the blue pill. Immediately, the Wachowskis signal the importance of this moment with the first tight close-up of the scene. Up until now, they've held back, keeping the coverage fairly restrained. But now that the truth is about to be fully revealed, they let loose, injecting the moment back with flashy, stylized camera work, essentially bookending the scene with style. We shift to over-the-shoulder shots, but they're not just standard coverage. The composition is deliberate. Nearly half the frame is taken up by the backs of the chairs, making it feel like the audience is spying on something deeply secretive. This isn't just a conversation anymore, it's a moment of transformation, a decision with consequences far beyond what Neo can comprehend. And then the cinematic mic drop, our first and only extreme close-up of Morpheus's glasses. In each lens we see a reflection, the red pill in one and the blue pill in the other, and Neo in both. What's truly brilliant is that the reflections don't overlap, an impossible effect since sunglasses don't work that way. It's a deliberate visual trick by the Wachowskis, reinforcing a fundamental idea: the illusion of choice. What confirms this is when Neo reaches for the red pill. We only see his hand in that lens, hinting that the choice was already made. The illusion of choice is just that, an illusion. His journey into the real world was always meant to happen.
Not quite what you were expecting, right?
And just like that, Neo gets red-pilled. Our story kicks off and cinema history is cemented. This scene is meticulously crafted. Every shot, every moment, every line of dialogue is designed to reinforce the film's core themes. This could have been just another exposition dump, but instead it became something legendary. It's a testament to the Wachowskis' ability to inject philosophy into action cinema and to make a conversation feel as gripping as a gunfight. And more than that, it's a scene that questions us as much as it questions Neo, because the real brilliance of this moment isn't just that Neo is being asked to wake up, it's that deep down, so are we.